Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro refuses to say he lost his country's presidential election, despite the fact that he lost his country's presidential election. Bolsonaro delivered a short 2-minute speech today, his first time speaking since he lost on Sunday. He thanked the supporters who voted for him, but he did not concede, and he did not recognize Luiz Ignacio Lula da Silva's victory. Instead, he said he would respect Brazil's constitution. It was the chief of staff who came out to say that Bolsonaro had agreed to allow a transfer of power to take place, not Bolsonaro himself. The announcement comes days after the former Trump strategist Steve Bannon told a Brazilian newspaper that Bolsonaro should not agree to leave. Steve Bannon. It also comes after protests erupted across Brazil. Look at this. Today, police fired tear gas at Bolsonaro's supporters and truckers. Officials say they blocked more than 200 roads, including a highway leading to Brazil's largest airport in Sao Paulo. That blockade forced the cancellation of at least 25 flights today. Brazil's Supreme Court has ordered highway police to take all necessary measures to clear the roads. Bolsonaro's supporters say they're trying to paralyze the country in order to draw a military intervention. They say they hope it was a way to overturn the election results. Ian Bremmer now, president of the Eurasia Group and author of the book, The Power of Crisis. Ian, was that the closest thing we're going to get to a concession? I mean, does this calm everything down now? What's your take?
Yeah, it's about as close as Bolsonaro's ego would permit him. It was almost 48 hours after the election results were already known. He had said literally not a word in public. And finally, after making journalists wait for an hour and a half, all standing around, no seats available to them, said in 2 minutes, OK, I'm going to respect the Constitution. And then his chief of staff, as you said, came out and is going to facilitate the transition. But frankly, even though it's embarrassing, it's enough because we are now going to see a peaceful transition. And over the course of the next few days, all of those truckers are going to be cleared away. Those that aren't are going to be fined, and that's going to be challenging for them. And the country will eventually get back to normal.
Sure. We can't know what will happen, but I hear you that that's what's supposed to happen. You know, fingers crossed. And now, trying not to say what is the most obvious thing possible, what does Bolsonaro's defeat mean for Brazil and other places where right-wing populism has been on the rise?
Well, the fact is this was a close election. The polls thought that it was going to be a much bigger gap between Lula and Bolsonaro. And part of that is because people that fundamentally don't believe in institutions also don't believe in polls. And when pollsters ask them, they either lie to them or they don't take the call. So you do get this shy populist vote that ends up turning out at the polls. And, you know, frankly, it could have gone the other way. If the economy had picked up a little bit faster for Bolsonaro over the past weeks, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. But you know, he's put himself in a position where he couldn't say anything else. Literally months ago, he was proud to say publicly that the only way that this election could go would be either he would win, he would be arrested, or he would be killed. Well, here we are in November, and none of those three things happened, and we're going to have a new president of Brazil. So sometimes you just have to call BS on these guys, and that's kind of where we are.